Hi, you're listening to The Humans We Are with Carola, episode number 24. Hello, my humans. I hope you're doing amazing today. If you're new to the show, I want to welcome you and tell you that you are in the right place if you want to start relating to yourself in a more loving, kind, and productive way. And if you're not new, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of The Humans We Are. I have been thinking a lot lately about the red pill and the blue pill from the movie The Matrix. If you haven't seen that movie, I highly recommend. But if you're listening to this podcast, it's actually very likely that you have watched it. The blue pill, red pill concept has become so popular in our culture since that movie was released in 1999 that I don't think that me discussing it here is going to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet. But do what you will, I am talking about it today. This past week, there was a common thread, as it always happens, or at least usually, among the clients that I coached around finding themselves being mean to themselves in their own mind or in the physical world, intentionally or unintentionally. And I'm going to give you a few examples so that you can see if this resonates with you. So, for example, looking in the mirror and thinking negative things about your body, pointing out all the quote-unquote flaws that you think you see, berating yourself for what you see, blaming, shaming, judging past actions that you think caused unwanted consequences for you now, projecting bad outcomes in your future, telling yourself that you will never get what you want, be it love, acceptance, recognition, money, better health, etc. Judging past decisions negatively, telling yourself that you should have known better, and using new information even that you didn't have when you made that decision to make yourself wrong and shame and blame yourself for that decision. Judging your wishes and dreams as silly, presumptuous, not realistic, or who are you to want that? Putting yourself down in any way, denying yourself from physical relief when you need to go to the bathroom and you won't, when you need to sit down and you don't, when you need to get up and stretch, walk, or move your body a little bit and you won't. Just keeping yourself in discomfort without really paying that much attention, or making yourself kind of like earn that relief. Like, when I finish answering all these emails, then I can go pee, for example. Or when I do A, B, or C, then I can give myself something that might be very basic, like getting up and getting yourself a glass of water. Or when you don't nourish your body with good quality, nutritious meals. When you numb yourself with too much alcohol or food or drugs, or spending too much money on things that you don't need just for the rush of buying them, or scrolling mindlessly through social media, or when you immerse yourself in overworking to avoid being present to your life, or when you overgive yourself in any shape or form. These are some examples, and just because you are a human being and you haven't lived secluded in the mountains all by yourself for your whole life so far, it is safe to assume that you checked more than one box. Am I right? I think so. And here's the thing. Sometimes you realize that you are beating yourself up, and sometimes you don't. When you don't, you just feel like crap and it sucks. To be honest, some of that is inevitable in life because we can't be self-aware all the time. We live on autopilot most of our lives. And that's all good. It's a good thing. It's how humans are supposed to work, to save up energy and optimize our internal resources. What does the brain automate though? Whatever we do most. So if you've repeated something many times in your life, you bet there's an automated neural pathway in your brain that has that. And it runs that without you even knowing. Like you walk a lot, that gets automated. There's a neural pathway for walking. You drive a lot and you drive the same route, it gets automated. How many times you don't even remember how you got home because it was automated? Whatever you do at work, there's for sure a few automated processes there. And how you talk to yourself in your mind gets also automated if you repeat it enough, for better or for worse. So sometimes you don't realize that you've been repeating an automated program in your mind the whole day that tells you that you are too much or not enough, that you will never get that promotion or raise, that your boss is out to get you, that your spouse doesn't respect you or support you, that you're trapped in the job or relationship you have, that you screwed up big time 97 years ago and now you are doomed to suck it up because you get what you deserve. And by the end of the day, you get back home and you feel so bad that you just want a glass of wine to get some relief, or whatever other coping mechanism that you have automated. Of course, it makes sense, right? Other times, you will realize that the way that you are treating yourself is not cool. That what you're thinking about yourself or about your situation, other people in your life, is just not helpful. It's actually the opposite. You have those glimpses of self-awareness that show you that, at least in part, you are creating a worse experience than what is available for you at that moment. And when you have those glimpses of awareness, that you know that you are making things worse by the way that you're choosing to think about it or about yourself, when you realize that, what do you normally do? If you're like most of us, you get even more frustrated because you quote unquote know that you are making it worse by being so mean. You quote unquote know that you would never be like that with your friends, and that you quote unquote again should treat yourself better, be kinder. So you end up beating yourself up because you find yourself in a negative spiral, which is when you needed to be loved and held the most. At this moment, I want you to know that one, you are not alone. Most humans have experienced this and experience it every day. It's our shared humanity. Two, there's nothing wrong with you specifically, even if you have these experiences multiple times a day. And three, it's not your fault. See, during the first portion of your life, your brain's main job was to get you to adapt to your environment so that you could survive, and it has been successful at that. Here's the important detail. All that adaptation has happened at a subconscious level. Up until now, you didn't have the awareness, the maturity, or the resources to filter those adaptations, and you couldn't decide what were the best coping strategies that didn't have long-term undesirable consequences for you, right? Your mind on autopilot did the best it could, and it did a pretty decent job. If you're here listening to this, if you're interested in helping yourself, we can agree that your mind has done a good job. And now that you're aware and mature and have the resources and tools, Now you can make a choice. Those moments when you realize that you were being mean to yourself, when you were being not supportive, when you were not protecting your boundaries, or when you were people pleasing, when you said yes but you wanted to say no, those are your blue pill, red pill moments. Whatever you did before that moment isn't your fault. You were on autopilot, remember? And you may want to explore why you adopted a response or coping strategy, and that can be very helpful. But right there in that moment, when you realize that you are beating yourself up and that it's not helpful to do so, and you really want to start treating yourself better, you have a chance right there to prove that you mean it. If you take the blue pill, you keep doing what you have been doing, treating yourself poorly for realizing that you were treating yourself poorly. If you take the red pill, you own that before realizing you were in a negative spiral, you didn't really have a choice because an automated pattern was running in the background and had taken over. But the moment you notice is the moment of truth. That's when you get to show yourself the love, kindness, and compassion you so crave. What happened before the moment you sort of like wake up and see the role you were unconsciously playing in your own suffering is not on you. You can't blame yourself for that if you were on autopilot. But what you do after you become aware is what counts. Whether you choose the blue pill and keep beating yourself up because that's just familiar, or you choose the red pill and choose compassion and love and put that whip down and let it sit there and resist the urge to pick it back up and whip yourself with it. That choice is on you. So next time you realize that you were unintentionally or unconsciously being mean to yourself, remember that you have a choice about what you do next. That's the choice that you have. And that choice is all that matters. If you would like some help in rewiring these patterns, head over to www.carolafortes.com and look for the link to book a call. I can't know for sure if when you're listening to this, I will be offering one-on-one coaching or have availability, but there you will find the options to work with me if that's what you'd like. As always, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so easily by leaving a rating and an honest review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And of course, if you share directly this episode with someone you love who you know will enjoy or benefit from it, that's always a super effective way to support the show and help it grow. If you have any comments, suggestions for topics to cover, or feedback of any kind that you'd like to get to me, you can email carola@carolafuertes.com, or you can DM me at @fuertescarola on Instagram. By the time of this recording, it's 100% me checking those messages, and I'd love to hear from you. Podcasting can be very lonely sometimes because I only imagine you on the other side, and I wish you well and send you love, and I hope this is helpful for you, and it's so nice when I hear back from you. Okay, my loves, I will be back next week, and in the meantime, I hope you will choose the red pill more and more. That's all for now, my lovely humans. Bye bye.